so tired.
Snap out of it, Ryuji. We're about to head in.
I know. I was so excited last night I couldn't sleep.
What, you think it's Christmas morning or something?
Yes, that was how I was as a kid all the time.
Any idea how big this place is? Can you tell, Sophia? Based on the smell, I'd say it covers nearly all of Sendai. That's quite big.
Considering what's happening throughout the city, the scale makes sense. But that's all coming to an end.
It's time to take down this dodgy author.
Right. We're heading into the Sendai jail.
And give his fanfic the downvoting it deserves. So, this is our hideout from now on, but like always, it's a good idea to go around and talk to all of the party members. Good luck, Curry. Yes, they would have a hero's feast that would give them resistance to fear and temporary hit points.
Yummy.
I mean, I've got some of the other ingredients. In fact, while I'm here,
Let's get to work.
I hope this doesn't cause a cutscene. It doesn't, but yeah, we get a new hideout now. I like how Yusuke slowly eats things. Just look at that. I'll take a something chip and eat it. But yeah, we can cook here. Also, I might have some stuff I need to sell. Let me check.
What are you selling? Are you sure?
Just a few things. But really,
What should we make?
now it is important to always cook every new recipe at least once.
Hey, that sounds good.
Wait, what does Gutan stew actually do? Oh, just 40 HP to all allies.
Good idea.
Because the first time you cook something,
Delicious.
and yes, Joker has awakened to the true power of a Trails character, being able to instantly recreate any recipe they taste. You get bond points every time you make something for the first time.
You want to make that?
Very nice.
Ooh.
And that's a bond level up. Also, the food itself is good to make. Now, before we head out to the jail, we can finally access the shops around here. Including, you know what? No, okay. Ramune, isn't that stuff in those bottles that, like, have the, like, little glass beads in them? Well, again, you have a good head on your shoulders. Yeah, so I believe this will actually raise bonds slightly.
I see.
So, yeah. It can be done once per day, but only in the daytime, not at night. And one of these, huh?
Sounds like fun.
My mum used to hate these. Oh, look, it's a shrine maiden from Fire Emblem Fates. Or not, okay. Here, though, you can buy some things. Talismans. Auto Tsukakaja is not bad. And a fortune bell. But I want to save my money. There is another recipe we can get.
Oh.
What You Wish For, I think, is actually the name of the song that I was talking about. One of the two battle themes in Strikers. Yeah, I think I've done this before. But this right here is really interesting. Unlucky year listing. So this refers to ages in Japan that are traditionally considered unlucky. For men, this is 25, 42, and 61. And for women, it's 19, 33, and 37. But there are regional variations. These are referred to as yakudoshi, or calamitous years. And what's interesting with Morgana is saying that, yeah, like, it's kind of like, you know, just superstition, and bad things can happen in any year or any age. But, what's also interesting is that apparently some of it goes by East Asian age reckoning, which is where babies are considered 1 year old when they're born, and increment their age by 1 every new year instead of every birthday. New Year is traditionally when families gather and give presents in Japan. It's kind of equivalent to Christmas in the West, so that would definitely make sense.
Right?
So now we have a candle cutter. If I remember right, this is actually quite a good item. Critical up. Yeah, we all know who's getting this one. Yusuke, take it. Well, Yusuke will hang on to it.
Oh, amazing.
And thus, you're gonna get fat, you know, intensifies.
Hi.
So we can buy some things here, not the greatest. I like how there's like an actual TV there that's showing stuff.
What's the plan?
Unfortunately, we can't buy any replicas there. We can get some Japanese sweets, though. 51 ally is not bad, but what I'm actually looking for is this other shop that's over here. This outdoor cafe. Cafe Blue, even though it looks green. Salmon Bowl.
That's what you. Here you are. Take it.
That kind of sounds like Eden Regal.
My.
And now I want that. But yes, we also have honey toast, cafe latte. Oh, that's a couple of those. Yeah, that's definitely Eden Regal. I mean, I was wrong about Josija, but that's probably Eden Regal. Now, I believe, can we still go to the Date Masamune? Yes, we can. I don't really think there's much for us up here, but you can examine the Masamune statue. I still kind of wish that Masamune was a persona. I mean, we've got Masakado, we've got Yoshitsune. Why not Masamune? But, okay, in fact, you know what? I wonder if all the references to Date Masamune here are because this is a Koei Tecmo Warriors game. I mean, that actually makes a lot of sense. Why didn't I think of that before? Because he's in Samurai Warriors, and the Samurai Warriors designs are what we used in Pokemon Conquest. But okay, now that we have a new recipe, hopefully I can cook it. 20 to all allies, okay. I would rather make LeBlanc curry, I think, so I'll just make one of these.
Incredible. Thank you very much.
Not quite enough for a bond level up, but I guess I can make, how much more? I can get 2 more curries.
All done.
And while I'm here, may as well start spending some of my bond points. So quite a few of these can go up. Yeah, I do want to level this up. Let's level it up again. And let's level it up again. And it's still not done, okay. You know, I'm gonna go one more. And that's maxed out now. Our first maxed out bond skill. Our best friend is food. We are Luffy, apparently. Okay, so does that actually change the recipes I can make right now?
I can help.
I'm guessing it does later, but with all of... Actually, hang on a second. Oh, yeah, no, I do want to talk to some other people, because there are some interesting conversations we can have in town, just before we head out to the jail. Haru especially. No, she just said don't quote her on that. So this line right here, this actually makes more sense in Japanese. In Japanese, Beauty Thief was Bishoujo Kaito. Bishoujo means beautiful young girl, and the joke is that her being in college, she's technically not a shoujo anymore. She would be a Biseijo Kaito, and Biseijo doesn't quite have the same ring to it.
I've been thinking.
Yes, philosophical questions for the ages.
At any rate, the point is...
We'll be heading in there in a moment. Firstly, just want to speak to Makoto.
Speaking of which...
It's nice that we get a little bit more background on what these people did in their lives. Yet more things that we cannot tell your sister. believe me, we've already got a long list of things, considering that in my, you know, previous playthrough there's canon to this, Joker dated Makoto. Yeah, there's a lot more things they can't tell Sire.
Take your time.
Yeah, see, the coffee beans are still sold out. For some reason, in 2017, Japan went through a horrible coffee bean shortage.
Recommend that.
Yutan is pretty rare, but rice is used in a lot of dishes, so it's probably a good idea to grab a lot of rice when you can. I can always come out of the jail and buy the rest of this. And speaking of which, I think it's about time to call things. That guy's smile looks really creepy. Next time... Oh, wait. No, I can't buy a Yutan burger. I need to sell things. Hang on a minute. Just like in Persona 3, I am spending my war funds on burgers. Mato Kaja burger.
To-go order?
All is right with the world.
Here you go. Let's get to work.
As Morgana says, let's get to work. I still cannot get enough of the Sendai music, but we'll be hearing more of that later. So it is time to explore the jail, and
Alright, time to go wild!
So, the Fantom Thieves has seen so many horrors in the metaverse, but can they prepare them for entering the world of trashy isekai?
Whoa. So that's it.
Once again, the domain reflects who's within.
Well, clearly this guy's ego is almost as bad as Seto Kaiba. Almost. So in terms of party, I've gone with my lower level members, but also... we are finally gonna go over how Yusuke works. It's about time, but trust me, it'll make sense to do it here.
Well, we made it to the jail. I'd say that settles it. Ongo Natsume is our monarch.
Gee, what was your first clue?
So him being all popular is a total lie.
Doesn't he feel any remorse for obtaining his success this way? His fans are only his fans because he forced them to be.
That's just how smug assholes like him think. You can't just let it keep happening.
This is just like buying YouTube subscriptions, only even worse.
There's a large tower in the distance. Is that Natsume's castle? Probably. I smell treasure. I mean, desires.
Mount Alba's over that way. The main road here should lead us right to it.
Let's go. We'll steal those desires and expose Natsume for the fraud he is. Let's go.
Let's bring the ultimate wrath of copyright down on this guy.
Right! We got this!
But first, like I promised,
Yours. Leave it to me.
Yusuke. The Fantom Thieves master artist is back to paint the jails red with shadow blood. Anyway, the transition from turn-based to action was a bit of a discard and draw for Yusuke. He loses his baton pass strengthened skills, but he gains the fact that agility determines critical hits now, letting him crit very often, along with having the best strength stat of the party in a game where basic physical attacks are obviously really important. And he has other tricks too. His normal moves hit in a fairly wide area for how fast they are, and his specials cover even more ground. Yusuke actually has two character gimmicks. The first is, for all his special combos, mashing the special button will create an extended area attack, though it will leave Yusuke completely stationary. Be careful with this on his third special combo, as doing so will delay the bufu. If you just want to deal ice damage, don't mash the special button. His second gimmick is pressing special on its own, which has him enter a counter state. If nothing attacks him, he'll eventually unleash an Iai Jutsu slashing attack in an area, but if something does hit him, he'll immediately counter, taking no damage from the attack either. This counter gets even better as you unlock Yusuke's master arts, and making good use of it with the correct timing is vital to using him well. Yusuke's gun is also pretty decent, having good accuracy and range, and even more range if you switch to its secondary fire mode with the special button, something that I did not learn until making this bio. In terms of skills, he learns ice spells, which is great because frozen enemies take technical from physical. He learns a decent number of physical attacks to take advantage of this. Some good passives like freeze boost to increase the chances of freeze, and the new knockdown style, meaning his critical hits harm the enemy's down gauge even more. Sukukaja to buff the party's critical and auto-evade rate. And speaking of auto-evade, he gets both dodge and evade fire. Replace dodge with evade because these don't stack. At higher levels, he also learns the very interesting option of taunt. This helps you if Haru is in the party, but it also lowers the enemy's defense, letting him deal even more damage. Something to note about Sukukaja though, once you unlock his master art, Yusuke can cast this for free. Overall, Yusuke is a monstrous physical attacker with great area coverage, freeze for technicals, and a high critical rate. So in our first area here, yes, Prinsu Obu Nightmare, and that's 1 million sold. Wait, does that say Terubi Anime? Does that say there's gonna be an anime eventually? Oh no. Well, I mean, given the way that Sword Art Online went and a lot of other light novels. So our destination is over there, but first, we've got quite a big starting hub area to explore. This first part of Sendai, yeah, I do actually quite like it, and there is at least one chest to find. And I might be able to ambush this. Let's go make that first move. Now, what are you? You're slimes. I thought so. So, slimes are dead. Okay, I guess I'll talk about them later. And Makoto, she, yeah, she leveled up, so I probably should bring Haru in, but anyway. Yeah, when I said that all-out attacks were almighty, this is basically why, or at least this explains it. Slimes, I do believe, resist physical, so, yeah, they would be taking way less damage from physical attacks unless they were the all-out attack, which is almighty, but also scales off your attack stat, strength stat. Anyway, luck incense. Who wants more luck? I guess maybe Morgana? No, wait, let's give that to Haru. I'll need to check the bond menu again to see if it affects status ailment rate. I saw something that oh, there we go. Yeah, I can ambush from down here. Now these things, I believe, are, yes, they are Bereth, or Bereth. And this is where Yusuke comes in, because they are weak to ice. You're only just realizing now that he's cool?
Okay.
This should expand our tactical options.
I mean, I'm sure Pixie's leveled up in the past before. Now, I believe there is a chest on the ground level in this place, so I'm just going to go ahead and look for that. It's actually quite a lot to explore here. Sadly, these vending machines are not interactable. Oh, there we go. It's like right in the middle.
Statue? Is that supposed to be Natsume?
Oh, what a creep.
Well, I mean, we know somebody else who made statues of themselves in their palace. Hi, Car. Okay, here's a big slime, so chances are we're not going to just end this immediately. And also a lot of little slimes. So slimes are sadly not weak to ice. They are weak to wind, though, and they resist physical. But I might still be able to freeze them. Maybe. Okay, I've got one freeze, so I can go for a big cleave for that technical. Joker's getting that fire going. Uh-oh, hysterical slap. Somebody is angry. Attack increased and defense reduced. Oh yeah, Rage is actually hilarious in Strikers, because it just makes the character run around spamming their basic attack over and over. So for example, okay, Yusuke is in Rage now. Just watch this. So like, he's just, I'm not even touching anything. I can still use the all-out attack though, interestingly. Ow, and Yusuke is done. Right, let's get him back.
Go ahead.
Although honestly, I should probably... I forgot that you weren't weak to Bless. I thought that you were for a second. Okay, there's something big. That's hysterical slap. That. Yeah, the annoying thing about slimes is that they do resist physical. And So, I may have alluded to Merciless Mode a few times. Merciless Mode is New Game Plus exclusive in Strikers. Are you even vulnerable to this to sleep? I guess you kinda did. Oh, and there's Rage. So, right, I'm not even allowed to swap characters like this. But you still are allowed to use all-out attacks, which is interesting. I guess Rage is like permanently putting you in all-out attack mode. But yeah, so Merciless difficulty is New Game Plus exclusive. And it not only makes the enemies a lot stronger, basically it scales them to endgame levels, which I'll go into Merciless mode way later, but I like it a lot more than many other people who played this game do.
What a skill.
Giant Slice, there we go, that is not quite Baton Pass booster skill, but hey, you getting Medea is good, and we have a Bond level up. But, the thing with Merciless mode is it also changes the resistances of enemies. Also, there's another chest over here. And on Merciless, Slime's null physical, which is really, really irritating in a game like this where you use basic physical attacks a whole lot. Oh yeah, also Yusuke's gun. Yusuke's gun is actually pretty good for hitting enemies in advance. Got quite a few people learning healing right now, but I do want to switch Haru back in, because Makoto's going a little bit... No, actually, Haru's still leveled up to 14. I will be using Makoto later. She'll be the subject of the next bio for a good reason. Of course, I do want to spend my bond points while I'm here. Let's get more money. That'll pretty much pay for itself. I think I will actually grab this. That will be useful for Joker going forward.
I've been waiting for you, oh chosen heroes.
So, in case you haven't realized yet, this jail is amazing.
Who are you?
I am Doom, one of the fearsome four and servant to the Prince of Nightmares!
Don't you mean, I am Doma of the Buddha's 4 warrior attendants? That was a really badly translated Pokemon game, because technically the term used for Elite Four, 4 Heavenly Kings, that is what it literally translates as, but yeah, really, it just means 4 very strong people.
The fearsome four!
Oh, no, he did not just say that. There's no way someone would be this cliche.
He kinda just looks like some old guy in a suit to me.
I am the guardian of this. If you wish to pass, you have to defeat me in combat. But be warned, I will not fall so easily. In the name of the fearsome four, I will slay you where you stand!
These voice actors had so much fun with this.
Come, chosen heroes!
And so our first Fearsome 4 is a big jack-o'-lantern. Okay. Well, I suppose for Yusuke we can just get this, get ice skills in. Of course, speaking of ice skills, if you want to use Yusuke's, free ice attack, you do not want to mash the button. And it's kind of easy to accidentally mash the button because, you know, a Warriors game. Okay, Agi, can I stop that? And kind of stop that. Oh, it's down already. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, that is kind of this guy's thing. He's that first member of the villains who talks big but actually sucks.
Oh, nice! Did we get him?
I'd expect nothing less from the chosen. Very well. You may pass. To best us is to overcome the Overlord's most perilous trial. But will you be able to defeat the others? I pray you lose your way. Chosen heroes!
Oh no, did we just get isekai'd?
The hell? Where are we now?
Who was that? You're in a completely different place than we were before.
Looks like we're in front of that castle we saw earlier.
So he just brought us closer to our destination. I guess it's typical of the lame member of the villains.
Does that mean we were brought here by some kind of magic? My guess is it was that fearsome four guy's doing. You heard that "I pray you lose your way" crap, right? Right? We've seen it a million times.
I'm sorry, but I'm having trouble keeping up here.
Oh, don't worry, Haru, this just means that you read good quality literature and not trashy isekai.
Chosen heroes and demons and shit? That's classic video games and manga business.
I believe this is the world from Natsume's novel, Prince of Nightmares.
You mean we're in a novel?
You've read it, haven't you, Fox? What's it about?
A man living a completely normal life in our world is reborn as a demon overlord in another.
Yeah, I'm kind of sorry that I spoiled this, but yes, Prince of Nightmares is indeed an isekai, which is amazing.
Making the most of his villainous new role, he then attempts to repel the heroes who come to slay him.
And let me guess, he is absolutely perfect in every way and only gets more powerful as the story progresses. And he also has a gigantic harem of 100,000 women.
To that end, he deploys a number of traps about his castle, along with a group known as the Fearsome Four.
And that's why he called us heroes earlier?
So are the heroes the real bad guys of the story then?
No, the real bad guys of the story are, everybody the author doesn't like.
Yes, that's correct. Am I to assume you've read it too?
Nah, I just skimmed it. But I've seen enough of that kind of thing to guess where it was going. So it's our job to challenge the Demon King, huh?
Yeah, so the trope that they're using here in Japanese is Ma'or, which is literally Demon King. Like, Bowser and Ganondorf are both called that in Japanese, but it's kind of just a generic Japanese term for bad guy. It's also the Japanese name of the tyrant race in Shin Megami Tensei, and I always thought tyrant was my favorite localization for the term, though Overlord from, what is it again, Disgaea is pretty good too.
That's true? Then I guess this all works out pretty nicely. And if this place is from Natsume's book, then it's safe to say he's somewhere in the castle. Which means everyone's desires are in there too.
Right. Let's see if we can find a way inside. Huh?
Well, yes.
Okay, so this means that if somebody's low on SP, you may want to swap them out. I do have some SP raising items though, especially that food.
Overlord's castle, though? This is actually kind of sick.
Pipe down, Skull. We're on enemy turf, remember?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Hold up. We got searchlights ahead. Security here's pretty tight.
And conversation interrupted.
It appears the gate is closed as well. We won't be getting in this way.
I love that giant pen the statue's holding.
In that case, let us play true to Fantom Thief form and sneak in through the back.
Also, this music is great. Like, I love the really, really cheesy gothic aesthetic that it has to it. Some people think this song is, like, partially plagiarized from Castlevania, which would also fit the design of this palace. Or, well, the theming of this palace. But, the funny thing about this song to me is that, so, when I first played Persona 5 Strikers, also, yes, we can't actually go... go back yet, so we can't go back and heal. But when I was first playing it, I had just discovered Man on the Internet's channel. He does lyrical covers of video game songs, and I don't want to, you know, try to, like, intrude on his territory or anything, but, I actually started writing lyrics to some of the songs from Strikers just because I liked its soundtrack so much, and, I was probably the most proud of the lyrics I did for this, just because I feel like Ango Natsume would be the kind of guy to have a bombastic Disney-style villain song. Like, he really would. I'll put the lyrics in a pinned comment.
Get a load of that gate. It's ginormous.
Well, we ain't busting that thing open anytime soon. Oh, now.
We don't have any other option. We'll have to double back and find another way in.
Hold on. I believe I read something about this gate in his book.
And yes, the gimmick of this dungeon is we need to have read his novel in order to progress.
Here. Supposedly, it's the Gate of Trials, designed to deny the hero's entry. It's a test to see whether the heroes are worthy to face the Overlord.
Do we have to answer it to these questions 3? Has he plagiarized that too?
To open it, they must overcome 3 trials and obtain proof of victory.
You know what the funniest part is? I'd actually forgotten that this was literally the next line. I don't... My joke there was accidentally completely true.
Dude, this is a video game.
Yeah, it's often 3 things.
This Overlord wants to keep the heroes out, right? Why doesn't he just build a gate that doesn't open?
That's just how it goes. The story couldn't progress if the heroes didn't have a chance.
Yeah, that's the same reason why Dr. Wily doesn't just make an entire room full of spikes that Mega Man just can't get past without dying.
So where exactly are we supposed to find this proof?
It's being held in 3 different towers placed outside the castle.
Although this sounds awfully familiar.
It says here that the towers are guarded by the fearsome 4 themselves.
But wait, there's only 3 towers.
They're called the Fearsome 4, but there's only 3 trials?
And once again, Arn ninja'd me.
This guy's writing's all over the place.
One of the towers apparently stands near something called the Great River.
I'm guessing that's just like a big river or something.
Well, the Hirose River runs right through Sendai in the real world, and that's pretty big.
Oh, that's gotta be it. Okay, let's see if we can find that river.
Okay, River Ho, our next destination. I actually feel like also there's a little bit of a map spoiler here. There's an enemy on this gate, so obviously we'll be able to get through there eventually. But I feel like rivers are actually a little underused in RPGs in general. I don't know, like, off the top of my head, there's one in Super Mario RPG, but, like, they don't really use rivers all that often. There is, like, a river dungeon in Tales of the Abyss as well.
The Hirose River should be around here somewhere.
Hey, doesn't that tower look a lot like the prison keeps we saw in Shibuya?
Hey, it does. It looks like a birdcage on top.
If it's the same, then maybe that's where we'll find our proof.
So when they say proof, do you think they're actually talking about cores? Looks like the entrance is right over there. Come on, let's check it out. Dang, these jails are humongous. Be sure to check your map every now and then.
Who wants to bet that it's not going to be that easy? You just walk right up here and... Well, I think he got this one from Zelda. This looks very Zelda-like.
This is the entrance?
Ooh, there's something written here. One must offer sun and rain.
What do you think that means?
It means we have to find a bunch of cast forms.
You probably gotta bring it some specific items or something. Typical fetch quest.
Oh no, not only is he cribbing from video games, he's cribbing from the worst parts of video games.
Here's a line from the novel. Mine hallowed orbs sleep in a shrine of sun and a land of rain.
Well, at the very least, he's not having people describe other characters' eyes as amber orbs or things like that.
Right. Those orbs are probably what we're looking for.
The sign should have just said so to begin with.
Oh, don't be like that, Sophie. This is just one of those things.
Let's not forget this is still Natsume's world, however. This is likely a trap to deter the heroes.
Well, I don't see any other way in, so I guess we should go look for these orbs.
Just trying to think of, like, if this is Natsume's world, there's probably going to be some kind of really bad writing plot twist where, like, one of the heroes suddenly turns out to be a horrible villain for, like, with no foreshadowing whatsoever.
What's that over there?
That is an enemy. Oh, hey, my sword slash actually does reach that far. More slimes. Yeah. Let's just burninate you. Wow, it's been a while since I've said that term, or heard of that term. I was a little too slow on my gun there. So, most of the enemies here are either going to be Bereths or Slimes.
Just as easy.
So I think I can probably afford to swap out Sophie for Morgana, especially since they're the same level now.
Go ahead.
I've already used Morgana a lot in the last dungeon, but, and I want to switch back to Yusuke because I'm pretty sure these things are ice weak, not, weak to other things. This is actually part of the dungeon that I actually got a little bit stuck on my first time. It can be kind of tricky to figure out how to progress here. 1, 2, 3, tap triangle once to cast Bufu immediately rather than mashing it. That's just something that you need to kind of be aware of when using Yusuke, and of course the slimes are back. We have these ice crystals. I haven't really specifically discussed the ice crystals yet, but like, you know, they explode into ice. They're basically the cars from the first jail, but less cool. And you, sir, are gonna get... now that was apparently mashing, okay. Yeah, the button's gonna be a bit sensitive. There we go. Oh, and now Morgana is over-leveled.
Glad we won? Okay, let's keep going.
So yeah, you need to get up on this rooftop, and
Excellent. I don't sense any shadows nearby.
you can just jump up onto the roof here.
Right, we got it!
So yeah, basically your ledge grab hitbox is a lot bigger than it looks, and that's what you kind of need to make use of here. Can be easy to fall off these narrow passageways on the roof though, but this leads us into a maze that loses a lot of its impact when you realize that you have a map and therefore can just, well, look at the map. Yeah. So while we're heading through this area, I probably need to talk about the general theme of this jail. And like I said, that would be trashy isekai. Now, I haven't really seen much isekai. Like, I've just heard about it vaguely because I sort of fell out of like modern anime after I think like 2015. I was in anime club for a while, but like I fell out of it right before the big isekai boom. Also, I love how you can just jump across the stones in this river. And so, yeah, for those who don't know, isekai literally means another world. And basically how it works is, usually an ordinary person gets transported into a magical otherworld where they have superpowers, and yeah. So, like, isekai has existed since Western works, like Alice in Wonderland.
Our Shrine of Sun?
If it is, then perhaps the orb is inside. Let's take a closer look, Joe.
And the Chronicles of Narnia as well, which are technically isekai, but in a lot of those Western isekai, the goal is always to get back to the real world.
Ooh, you lowered the bridge. That'll help us get around easier.
And they're usually stories about, like, anti-escapism, about how it's best to live in reality rather than a fantasy world. For some reason, a lot of the modern Japanese takes on isekai have been about, no, screw reality. Being a super cool overlord with magical superpowers who's the best at everything and who has a sexy harem is amazing, and that's what we should do. We shouldn't try and go back to the real world at all, and we should also make all of our protagonists wish fulfillment and make everything based on video games for some reason. And I'm going to need to stop my tangent for a bit because we have the Orb of the Sun, apparently. Now, he wouldn't plagiarize Aladdin or Indiana Jones and have a trap activate when we take this jewel, right?
Looks like we're safe for now.
Futaba, you are not genre savvy at all. For once.
The lights went off! Wait, is that a shadow?
It's the robot dog of doom!
It's just as the novel said. The orb is a symbol of the sun. Remove it, and the light fades.
You really could have told us that earlier, Yusuke.
Once that happens, warriors will appear to prevent its theft.
Then that means...
Yes, this seems par for the course.
Well, they are warriors that are weak to ice.
Why didn't you tell us this earlier?
Well, I mean, I couldn't blame him for not wanting to talk about Natsume's novel. But thankfully, these things can really wreck this, and the High Pixies are weak to guns.
Finish them off.
So eventually, I'm going to want to bring Arn in, because we'll be seeing more High Pixies coming in. Oh, we haven't even seen Yusuke Showtime. It's one of my favorite looking ones, actually.
Beauty.
I I like how Joker's just standing there. He's like, yeah, you got this, Yusuke. Yeah, definitely one of my favorite Showtime animations. Oh, that didn't actually end it. Where are you? Are you... Where... Are you... No, you're there, okay. I feel like I haven't been using Yusuke's swordplay as much as I should.
That was a close one.
Next time, tell us about the gaggle of enemies before we get jumped, Inari.
My apologies. I knew I'd forgotten something.
Anyways, we've got the sun we need. All that's left is to find the rain.
It said something about a land of rain, right? Let's keep looking.
However, an exclamation mark has appeared on our map in the middle of the road. I wonder what that could be implying. So, okay, I have Yusuke and I have Morgana, which means that I am all set for what's about to happen. Because, you know those fearsome 4 in, like, JRPGs and the like, usually you fight the villain once and then they come back later on and for a real showdown, where they hopefully die.
We meet again, chosen heroes.
Hey, you're that jerk from earlier.
Oh, right! Domu!
Doma! I am Doma of the Fearsome Four!
Are you the one who brought us here?
That is my duty. I am tasked with bestowing our master's trials upon the chosen hero. In addition, I've also been entrusted with protecting this sacred land. If the Orb of Rain is what you see, then you'll have to defeat me.
We're supposed to be the Fantom Thieves, remember?
I like how it still says defeat Doma of the Fearsome 4. Yeah, this guy is still basically a complete joke. Speaking of joke, does Joker have Rakunda on somebody? He does. Oh, ironically, on the enemy itself.
Switch out. Leave it to me.
Persona, prepare yourself!
Way to follow up, Fox.
And for some reason, Fox is on fire. Yeah, you can actually cancel out of his mash attacks with a dodge as well. People also said that I don't jump as much as I really should in combat. I feel like the lack of air combos in he's already dead, really? Well, I mean, I guess he was the joke of the 4. But, yeah, the lack of air combos in this game, I feel like, kind of discourages me from trying jumping. For example, in other action RPGs like Nair and Kingdom Hearts, you have a lot more aerial options.
Did we get him for good this time?
So you've come this far. Well done, chosen heroes. But I was but the weakest of the Fearsome Four.
Give me a break. It's the next guy's job to tell us that.
My fellow Fearsome Four will surely make you suffer.
Of course, he has to have a dramatic death scream. Yeah, I was reminded of something that I've seen, like, online, and it's kind of so true, where in a lot of JRPGs with recurring, like, groups of bosses that are often some kind of Elite Four, they often kind of go from, oh no, you beat me, I must retreat, to, oh no, you beat me, I am now dead. With very little, like, difference between, like, the fights, just because the game's getting closer to the end.
The heck was that all about?
I say this, and yet, like, one of my favorite series is Fire Emblem, and it does that trope all the time, but, like, yeah, cliches are just, it's just about how you use them, really.
Well, whatever it was, we can keep going now. Let's find that orb.
Oh, right.
Wait a moment.
Oh, okay, and Yusuke's unlocked his follow-up. So 2 attacks, and then that leads to the follow-up. Okay, that's actually a cool follow-up, because it knocks the enemy away. High counter is a lot better, though. Before I use the checkpoint, though... Aha, yes, my map was not lying. There is a secret here.
What magical wonders lie within?
well, literally magical and enchanting axe. Let's give that to Haru, and maybe I'll put Haru back in the party. Wow, that's way stronger, okay. And Dizzy is very good, because that technicals off everything. You know, actually, I think, though, I am going to return and heal. Because, we went over Yusuke this part, and next time we are going to be fighting a lot of things that are weak to nuclear, and that'll be the perfect time to go over Makoto. So, I will see you all next time when we claim the Orb of Rain, and, again, go over how she works.